Hi everyone, it's Cherry Enchantress. I'm here with another pick a card reading, and this time our subject is trick or treat. So, one more dash of Halloween fun before Halloween is over, which is my favorite time of the year, and I just felt like I wanted to do at least one more reading, Halloween related reading, to use all these fun decks that I have. So, what are you going to expect? And this is going to be real current, like within the next few days. Tricks or treats. You can try to use this timeless situation. Definitely, whatever message comes out to you is a message for you any time of the year. But really, this is kind of focused on Halloween in the next few days at hand. All right, so let's take a look. We have pile 1 is the skull and like little beware, some of my decorations here. Number 2 is this cute little fairy holding my Dobby cat. She's kind of a witch fairy, sort of what I am, and my daughter gave that to me. Isn't that so cute? And number 3 is a jack-o'-lantern. Also some more decorations. All right, so you can pick as many piles as you want to for a bigger picture. It could be a mix of tricks and treats, but see what kind of tricks and treats you have. Maybe you'll have some work treats in one pile and love treats in another. All right, so let's just push out a breath. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, release your breath. I don't know why after lunch today I got so sleepy. Alright, so now open your eyes and let them drift to the pile that's meant for you. Let's begin. Okay, here we have this really nice little skeleton, skull, beware. Kind of represents death maybe. And yeah. And skeletons is kind of our framework that holds us together. So I have a bunch of goodies here. We've got the Halloween Tarot. We've got the Terror Tarot, which is a beautiful deck. And it's just the Major Arcana. They smell good and they're so spongy. And then we have the beautiful Autumn's Delight and the Halloween Oracle, and then my Fairy Forecast. Let's see what you got. All right, Fairy Forecast says Samhain. Samhain is this time, or Samhain is this beautiful time of the year where we gather together, sometimes in groups, and enjoy the festivities. As far as a celebration for the fairies, it's saying your fairy blood will sing at this time, and you will have great insights into your ancestry, even your own fairy bloodline. So maybe there is something that you don't know that has to do with your origins, your soul origins, something that might start to reveal itself during Samhain, which could be quite a nice treat for you. Next we have Trick or Treat. So this is about mischief and play. There could be some fun mischief afoot for you and friends that you might be hanging out with. Let's see. The poem that goes with this is stalking and stomping, eyes shining and begging baskets, faces and bodies that are no longer ours, laughing skeletons in candy caskets. Trick-or-treating is such a fun thing to do, is it not? Yet, why do we trick or treat? Ancient peoples understood that there were both mischievous and perhaps nasty spirits wandering around at nightfall at Halloween, as well as happier, more benevolent spirits. They thought that if they dressed as spirits themselves or frightening creatures, then they would not be recognized as human and attacked. The idea of causing a little chaos as one of these spirits was part of the imitation and enjoyment of the night. The practice in medieval Britain was aptly called souling. Today, trick-or-treating is a huge event. We spend much time, money, and effort dressing up as our scariest creatures, and this has even extended to dressing up as our favorite celebrities and other pop culture idols. Instead of traditional candy apples and barmbrack, we give out a mind-boggling variety of candy. It matters not, the idea of frightening away death and darkness still stands. I believe that the modern trick-or-treating also unites communities by introducing our families and friends to those around us as non-threatening and joyful way. Many of us do not know our neighbors, even those who live next door, and Halloween gives us an excuse not to be so reserved and extend our boundaries. Should you receive the trick-or-treat card in your divination, it may well be a time to examine the role of play and mischief in your own life. You don't have to be a child to let go and have some playtime, and you can extend the fun to others. Sometimes we're afraid to make mistakes, and play is one of the ways to alleviate that pressure, and that we sometimes place on ourselves to get everything perfect every time. Alternatively, it is worth knowing that there is a balance between manipulation and mischief. The former is not pleasant, and the other has, at its core, a sense of irreverent fun. So, I'll just tell you a little story. Last year, Halloween, I was so busy. I just had such a busy day that I left it to the last minute to go get candy. So I ran out to get candy. Actually, somebody rang the doorbell, 6 o'clock. They're ringing the doorbell, not the doorbell, knocking on the door, saying trick or treat. And I'm like, oh, dang, come back in about 30 minutes. I'll have some candy for you. So I ran down the street to the corner store to get some candy. And when I came back, the neighborhood was quite quiet, like most people had already come by, and I was like, darn it. But there was catty corner from me, there was these really fun people that turned their house into a haunted house, their little carport area, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. Well, I'll go bring them some candy. You know, they should, you know, to share with their kids and their family and whatever. And then when I get back home, then more people started showing up to my house. So I did finally was able to give out all the candy that I had bought, which made me happy. But anyway, that's the whole community thing does pop out to me in this case. So it could be a fun event. Like, I know in these times of COVID, it might be a little bit scary. The nice thing about Halloween's is it's a fun way to wear masks. So put on your mask and whatever it may be, and go out and have some fun. And so for our Autumn's Delight, we have Memento and Mischief. You know, it's like you will receive a little gift, but I think you also will cause a little mischief. It's not so much tricking people, but it definitely is kind of running around in interesting places. I don't know what this kind of cookie is. It looks like a burnt up biscuit, burnt cornbread or something. I don't know. You might end up making mischief in your kitchen. I was thinking of making some candied apples or caramel apples. So yeah, that might be a fun way to play in the kitchen. Your terror tarot is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's definitely kind of a karmic thing. Like, what you put out is what you're going to get. Like, if whatever effort you put into it, is what you're going to get back from it. You know, it's like you can get your tricks or you can get your treats. Yeah, I like that. In that context, the tricks sounded kind of fun. Anyway, so get your tricks and your kicks. The Wheel of Fortune is looks really gothic, like a gothic clock tower with carvings and statues and stuff. And the hands strike 3 a.m. That's the witching hour, signaling peak paranormal activity. They're tipped with alchemical symbols for water, salt, mercury, and sulfur, representing the 4 elements of water, earth, air, and fire. And these are essential to the balance of life. They are held within the confines of the physical realm, outlined here by the clock's perimeter. Beyond its face lies the metaphysical realm and the figures that symbolize its various facets. 2 pillars are positioned on either side of the wheel, and the serpent coils around the pillar on the left, spiraling downward, representing the descent of the soul from the spiritual plane to the mortal realm. This can perhaps pertain a loss of innocence or spirituality. To the right, the statue Anubis is the Egyptian god of the underworld and stands for the transition of the soul from life into death and the ascension from the ways of the flesh to the divine spirituality. Above the wheel, we see the head of the Sphinx. This figure signifies spiritual knowledge and insight that presides over the mysteries of the life cycle. Although these mysteries may never be known to us, the flying bats, illuminated lanterns, pouring rain, and overgrown shrubbery suggest that the law exists and transcends to the higher dimensions. On the four corners outside of the wheel, there are engravings of a cherub, an eagle, a lion, and a bull. Each of these blocks characterizes one of the four fixed signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus, respectively, and each creature carries Themis blindfold, symbolizing their wisdom. They are ensconced inside the clock tower, unwavering through the midst of billowing wind and rain. Such a neat card. All right, and then your Halloween tarot is the Five of Pumpkins, the Queen of Pumpkins, and the Ace of Bats. So I'm seeing for your trick-or-treat, you might actually be going out with kids or anyway friends or somebody else that might get disappointed or something. They might feel like, oh, I should have done this or should have done that or la 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 la, you know, one of those whiny people. But you're actually going to help them get over their doldrums, and you'll be like the Queen of Pumpkins with, look what I got you, and it'll be like a nice surprise. So you'll be the one that actually treats someone because you have this Queen of Pumpkins kindness of heart, and the Ace of Bats is about plenty and starting fresh and new and having everything that you need, you know, all the abundance that you could possibly ask for. Let me see what the Ace of Bats says in the little booklet. These are so cute. The bats is swords, yeah. Ace of Bats, the thinking suit. So the Ace of Bats is saying a new idea or insight, personal victory, facing conflict or pain honestly, determination, initiative, and courage. So I feel like you're going to have a bright idea to make the night a happy night for you and everyone, you know, whether it's children that you deal with or a person who's acting like a child. It's all going to turn out nice thanks to you and your way of handling the situation. All right, so, well, I don't know how much longer my pumpkin's going to be here to help us out. Let me go get my spider dish, too. Okay, here we go. Yay! I see that. I see Belle. See, you're the lady of love, coming in, swooping in, making the night like the heroine of the night. There could be a dance for you, and maybe you're gonna dress up like Belle and go to a Halloween costume ball. You've got go-go's. It's like, go for it, enjoy things. The tour of the world, you're touring around, so definitely see trick-or-treating here, like actually both. The act of going out and trick-or-treating, and not so much whether you're having tricks or treats symbolically. Here's another Wheel of Fortune. This is the golden wheel. This is talking about your year. Well, this has been crazier for all of us, right? Even the luckiest of us have sometimes had to deal with certain circumstances. But I feel like the end of the year is going to end up in a positive note for you. You know, this hand, it's maybe somebody's going to lend a hand, or something just as good is going to turn up. You got the 4-leaf clover. You have ironing things out. The world again. Definitely going to be a better world for you. And the moon. Ooh, maybe the blue moon will bring you something very special. Things are kind of moving at a nice pace, maybe not too fast, maybe not as fast as you want, but it's moving right along. And that could also represent Mercury retrograde. We're still in retrograde. Between the moon and retrograde, energies might be a little wonky, but once everything gets direct, then you're going to start to feel really good, and things are going to change around. Sagittarius is about optimistic, so you've got an optimistic feeling. There is some nostalgia coming in, but look, you got pineapple. That means you're going to get treats. And you got the star, so that's hope. Star of hope and the pineapple of treats. I think that's a good thing. And yeah, going for it, enjoying stuff, just having a happy spirit here. Good luck and the world, being able to tour around, being able to get out and actually go around. Yeah, I think there'll be some touring around for you. For some of you, I think a really large majority of you will be able to enjoy, despite numbers and things like that. I think you'll take precautions and still be able to have a nice time. Those of you who celebrate Halloween, if you don't, I have other readings for All Souls Day too coming up, and All Saints Day, if you're interested in those kinds of things too, more of a religious bent on it. But this, I feel like this helps kind of everybody that uses Halloween as a party time, it's a party time of year, a chance to dress up and just to be fun and silly and step out of your comfort zone. That's what it is. All right, well, I hope you like that, and I'm going to move on to the next. Okay, next we have the little cherry fairy. I don't know if it's cherry fairy, but it's the little witchy fairy. And we've got a bunch of good cards. We've got some Halloween tarot. We have the Terror Tarot and Autumn's Delight and the Halloween Oracle and Fairy Forecast. The Fairy Forecast says haunts. Haunts is all about your local hangout, and this too is also about hanging out with friends. So I see a lot of you with community and friends, and maybe again children, or I don't know, in groups activities. Cautiously, but I feel groups. It could be the local place that you and your friends hang out. It's the Happy Halloween or the Trick or Treat, and it can represent other group activities also. The only shadow side, there's a shadow side to this card. It could represent something like a memory that you can't let go of, some kind of issue that might haunt you, or maybe you'll feel maybe literally you'll have this sort of, the veil is so thin and everything feels so spooky with the blood moon, the blue moon, that you'll actually feel like you're being followed or something. All right, and then we have the vampire, emotional intelligence. So the vampire is saying, she's pretty. The vampire the poem is so pretty. It's the deepest, coldest craving of the blood, the hole never filled, the longing like a flood. Ooh, that goes so well with being haunted by somebody. Like there's a longing here, like this person won't let you go where you can't let them go. Whilst there are almost uncountable examples of vampires in literature, movies, and games, somehow the archetype of blood-hunting, night-stalking, and somewhat elegant creature keeps being reinvented to seduce yet another generation. Although the beautiful and somewhat desirable vampire form doesn't really begin to enter the public consciousness until the mid-1800s, the idea of a human feeding upon the very stuff of life is very much older. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Indians, and the Balkan people all have myths containing vampire-like creatures. The vampire is an interesting figure because it is both horrifying and desirable. Having someone want us so much that they desire to be that closely linked with us does feel good until we realize there is nothing much left of us to give. Most of us have heard of the concept of emotional vampirism, the idea that people feed off our energy and our goodwill and take advantage of us through manipulation and their incessant neediness. Should the vampire card appear in your reading, it may indicate that you're being drained in this way and the time has come for stronger boundaries. We need to be very aware of what gives us energy in our lives and what takes it away. We should be aware of needing people to need us and why we invite people like this into our homes, workplaces, and lives, if indeed we have them around us. Developing the emotional intelligence within ourselves helps us defend against this kind of emotional, psychic attack and enables us to foster healthy, equal relationships of all kinds. It's interesting how in many movies, you have to invite the vampire in, and vampire can't even come into your home unless you invite them. So think about that too, you know. Are you going to invite a vampire into your home? Do they deserve you, or is this just playfulness because of the season, the time of the year, or is this their energy for real, you know? All right, let's see what else we have. We have embrace and we have dates. All right, so, well, you know, this could be a fun kind of situation where some people dress up as vampires and go on a private date night, a private haunt together, and embrace each other and entwined with each other's scent and blood and kissing and necking and, you know, like get into that vampire spirit. That could be something going on here in that respect. Or, you know, maybe a group of you are dressing up like vampires. Maybe you're recreating the Lost Boys scenario and you're going to go out together and haunt the world together. But I think all your other cards are quite nice, so let's take this all in context, you know, of the other cards. I don't think vampire stands alone, although vampire can represent somebody who's very seductive and irresistible for sure. We have the star. Now the star is very beautiful symbol of light in the dark and emotions and cleansing and renewal. These are the tarot are all major arcana cards. So let's see what the star has to say. It's a beautiful card. It's talking about the star with that paints an image of a beautifully haunting siren sitting on a rock along. So I'm definitely feeling a powerful feminine here who's quite seductive. She tips over a jug with her left hand. This gentle turn over represents the subconscious mind. The water runs along the ground in 5 distinct rivulets, embodying the essence of the 5 senses. With her right hand, she holds a jug high, pouring its contents into the sea. This active posture is associated with the conscious mind. She drains the container into the large body of water in order to cleanse and nurture her environment. The skull on the ground, a remnant of one of her many victims, signals the cycle of life and death. While she cultivates earthly growth, the seductress is also notorious for taking the lives of sailors she has entranced by her gorgeously ghoulish gaze. This is just one more symbol of her dichotomous nature and the significance of balance. The mermaid is made in part from the land and in part the sea. Her human form shows her connection to the land, symbolizing her practical abilities and reasoning, as her tail directly illustrates her association to water, signifying her aptitude to call upon her intuition for guidance while honoring her emotions. This is further conveyed by the physical contact she makes with the rocks in the ocean. Though her bare breasts are covered by her mane of hair, she is unclothed, just as nature birthed her. Her nudity here reveals her vulnerability. This book is falling apart. In the vastness of the universe. The brightest star in the sky is a reflection of her core essence, while the 7 sea stars in her hair allude to her connection to the 7 chakras. In the distance above her, we see a raven flying in the direction of shining star. The raven is a symbol of wisdom and mystery. Its movement toward the star represents the siren's devotion to self-understanding and inward thought. Wow, very romantic and seductive. So far it could be a trick, it could be like an allure, like come this way, and you have faith in this because it looks good, but maybe there's something that's not so on the up and up. Well, let's see what your Halloween tarot has to say. So you have the 10 of Pumpkins. 10 of Pumpkins is really good, so it looks like a party. I think it could be just an innocent, fun party that you might meet a beautiful, seductive person there, vampire, woman or man. You have the 2 of Pumpkins, so this could be like entertainment at the party, person juggling things, person being entertaining. This could be a really interesting connection between an entertainer and a seductress. And then the 9 of Ghosts. This is definitely like feeling really good in the environment. Maybe you're getting a lot of attention. You're getting a lot of attention. You're somebody that's people are admiring your beauty, admiring your outfit, admiring something about you. So, and I'm guessing that you will definitely get treats because you are attracting attention, but you might be the one that kind of, you might trick somebody, not trick them so much, but you might kind of say, oh no, I'm not interested, thank you, or something like, oh, they're like, what, can I get you a drink? No, thank you, I'm not interested. Something like that. I don't know why I'm picking this up, but I feel like it's not so much that you're tricking on purpose. It's just you're in an environment where you have to put your boundaries up or something. All right. But you're not going to get tricked. I think you're the seductress, the majority of you out there. If you're a male or masculine, either or, then may not resonate with you. Just depends. Put yourself where you see yourself, because you could very well be the man that's the seductress, that's dressed like a seductress, Here we go again with Frankenfurter that I'm like coming into mind. Okay, let's see what your charms have to say. You too are getting a happy ending to your year too. This is about the wheel of the year. This is kind of like a horoscope. This is the golden wheel. This is sort of pagan, and it's kind of following. It came with my little fortune teller and dollhouse set. All right, so here we have Jasmine. You've been cooped up maybe a little bit, and now you're finally going to get out and go to some kind of situation where you're dressed up really pretty and attractive, and you're gonna get a lot of attention. There's a rock solid situation. The marble you have is Venus, so love is in the air. And Pentacles, yay! Pentacles, definitely you're going to get treats, gifts, money, some kind of object, a ring, a necklace, jewelry. You have China and Italy. You have the Kundalini snake. Your Kundalini is rippling, like you have a strong sexuality. You've released your Kundalini. Something might be happening in someone's house. It could indicate, like I had a dream about moving last night, like you're packing up things and moving furniture and stuff. It's interesting. And then you have Joan of Arc. Yes, a lot of feminine power here. Joan of Arc perseveres. She may not have met the happiest ending, but she stayed true to herself and to her beliefs, and she persevered. And this is about not letting anybody put you down, or it's like speaking your truth and staying true no matter what people say. Oh, and then you have Saint Joseph. You have Jean and Joseph, and then you have the missing piece. And the fish is nice. The fish could represent Pisces, but also fish in Lenormand represents fame, success, money, good fortune in the money situation. And this is going to turn into a very stable situation. It's rock solid, not going anywhere. It's a pentacle in development, you know, it's a sturdy situation. You may be a single girl in the castle, but you're going to be very highly admired. And, you know, don't apologize for your sexuality or your seductiveness. That is just part of who you are. That's your allure. So be it, you know, let yourself shine, because that's how, you know, that's how you are your authentic self. That's how you stay true to who you are. All right, guys. Well, I hope you like that one, and I'm going to move on to the next. And last but not least, we have pile number 3 with the little pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. I guess when they're carved, a carved pumpkin has a name. His name is Jack. All right. So I guess I should have looked up the jack-o'-lanterns. We've got the Halloween tarot, we have the Terror tarot, and some Autumn's Delight, and the Halloween Oracle, and Fairy Forecast. Your Fairy Forecast says enter. This makes me think of, you know, the first thing that came to mind when it came to Halloween and trick-or-treating was when you go out there, be very cautious, you know, go where you see lights. If somebody has their lights on and their house is decorated, then more likely than not, they're the ones that you can go to trick-or-treat. Or you be the one to make sure you turn on your light and say, and let the people trick-or-treating know it's okay to come visit you. But it's also saying you know, if you have a party or something you've been invited to, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead, it's lit up, it's inviting, the space is clear and telling you to enter here. There's no need to be in the dark or in the cold. Come in from the fringe and enjoy the warmth within. You've gathered your courage, now face the light of truth. You're no longer the bridesmaid, but the bride. There is a party inside. So when I say, you know, not the bridesmaid, the bride, it's maybe you have this mentality that you'll never be the bride, that you'll always be, you know, somebody's friend or somebody on the outside, and never really being the one in the center of attention. If you're reading this in a certain order, maybe pile 2 is your next choice, because pile 2 shows this person going to the party and becoming the center of attention, the one that's getting the attention, the one that shines because of her seductiveness. So this might be saying, yeah, go to that event or whatever. It's going to be okay. The light's on. Everything is fine. Also, if you feel a little lost or whatever, follow the, you know, wherever you see the next light, head towards the light. Head towards the light. All right, you've got the black cat. It's my Dobby. Dobby didn't look like that exactly. He had brown eyes. Black cat is fortune meets opportunity. I don't think I've read the black cat yet, so this is going to be fun. So, fortune meets opportunity, huh? So that sounds like treats to me. Let's see. Sleek and black and lantern-eyed, crosses your path with a hiss. Good luck and fortune sweep up by with a kiss. Ooh, maybe a kiss coming. Go to this party because you might get kissed. In traditional folklore, cats were said to have one foot in this world and one in the next. They were the conduit between the underworld and this world, and fortune and opportunity. In the times of the Inquisition, the Middle Ages, cats were hunted because they were said to be allies of evil entities, such as devils and witches. Black cats, being especially associated with darker aspects of the supernatural, were especially singled out. Historians believe this unprecedented killing of the cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population, which was responsible for the alarming rapid spread of the bubonic plague and the death of millions of people. So don't kill the cats, or else, I mean, can you see what that terrible ripple effect happened there? Wow. These days, in Germany, for example, a black cat passing one's path indicates impending misfortune. Yet, in ancient Britain, they were considered good luck and were even given to brides on their wedding day. In Japan, to this day, they are considered very good luck and bringers of fortune. Should the slinky black cat cross your path through this oracle, know that good luck and fortune will be meeting you promptly. Also know that your luck will be even luckier if you are prepared to take advantage of every special opportunity that comes your way. That's so perfect that they came out together. So don't miss out on that invitation. Go ahead and take it, because it's an opportunity that like I said, you might get kissed. Okay. So your autumn's delight is superstition. There's the black cutie again, and hope. Wow, like I feel like, yes, superstition can be a lot like believing in conspiracy theories, but superstition I think is more fun, and it's based on sort of history and things passed down from different generations. So I feel like go ahead and follow some of those traditions and history, and look up, things about the black cat. If you don't want to believe in Stacey DeMarco's version of this black cat, look it up. You might, maybe your black cat situation won't have anything to do with the traditional meaning of don't let a black cat cross your path, but maybe it will be the black cat that brings you to the party where you meet that one, because you got hope here. Also, you have the sun from the Terror Tarot. Tarot. Oh my goodness. So this is a really beautiful deck that only has my major arcana. So let me see if I can get to the sun. All right. The sun radiates a sensation of positivity and fulfillment. A witch's altar is on display, propped for puppet magic. Often seen as a negative force, puppet magic can be performed sympathetically and used to bring forth health, love, prosperity, and protection. Carved into the wood, the sun's scale and placement on the altar exhibits its essentiality to all living beings. It is a symbol of the light that shadows even the darkest nights. Situated below the carvings, 4 sunflowers are carefully arranged. When I think of, in this case, a positive puppet, I think a little bit about the law of attraction and how some of what we do may seem out of our comfort zone, because it's almost like we have to pretend or act as if, right? Act as if. The acting part might rub us the wrong way, because up until that moment, reality seemed a certain way to us. But really, reality, there's no such thing as reality. We create our reality moment to moment, day to day. And that's why acting as if can help alter the reality to a place where you want it. So be your own puppet master, and so to speak. Be your own guide. Try to tell your mind, to change its thoughts from the dark and negative into something more positive that can bring about a positive change for you. These flowers here, the genus implies a direct correlation with the sun, and they are frequently used in magic for their glowing energy and connection to the root chakra. The number of sunflowers correlates with the 4 elements, while the quantity of skulls corresponds to the 4 suits of the major arcana. The skull's employment in this scene represents the renewed usage of those whose purpose had previously come to an end. Directly above, the melting white candle wax highlights a theme of purity as flickering candlelight glow reflects off the various objects assorted on the table, alluding to the sunlight's influence on all things. Underneath, we see a puppet, its body unmarred and clean. The doll's stitched, cheerful expression and blue eyes signifies its innocence and purity. It is a depiction of the happiness and joy that blossoms from being in tune with our inner self. See? Its outstretched arms and exposed heart symbolize its vulnerability and openness. The other thing this puppet reminds me of is those I don't know what they're called. The wind socks. Oh, they're just, don't they, like, you watch them and the wind's blowing them around, but they're like always smiling, and something about them is so kind of like touching or something. I don't know. When I see it, it makes me a little sad and happy at the same time. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, but so with seemingly nothing to hide or fear, the puppet's childlike naivety peers through. See, that's kind of what I was saying. You know, it's sort of happy and sad. It's like being naive. It's just like, it kind of makes you feel nostalgic to a time where you were more innocent, right? This card is a bringer of truth, as represented by the threatening implements that approximate this stuffed doll. Though the truth can be a difficult, painful burden to bear, we should always seek enlightenment rather than be left in the dark. Yeah, and so I feel like, you know, in general, the sun is always a happy card. Every single deck, no matter what deck you stumble upon, Lenormand, Oracles, Tarot, any of them. So be, you know, please look at this as happiness. And yes, the truth is, your mind can go to a dark place, but you don't have to let it, right? And I also feel like anything that was in doubt, or any fears or whatever, were going to be illuminated, and you're going to see clearly. So I just feel like the romantic situation is going to be very special. And here, see, it's like this is almost like the sun within. Like, enter in, be brave, go ahead, take that chance. You're going to be illuminated. Something is going to surprise you in a good way. Because you have the Lovers for the Halloween tarot, and you have the Ace of Pumpkins and the Chariot. Look at this Chariot card. Isn't it so cute? It looks like somebody's about to pick you up to take you out. And definitely you're getting treats. You got a basket full of goodies, you know, coming to you. Ooh, you got the lilies. Lilies represent sexuality and represents maturity and winter, and in the Lenormand it does, and represents an older lover. It could be somebody special lover. Now, I don't, you know, like, you can decide whether or not you're going to invite the vampire in. You might want to check out pile number 2, because there is a vampiress in that one, and maybe you're two of a kind, you know. But anyway, this could represent the innocence, you know, and letting the innocence fall away in order to experience something else. But you've got helpers and guides protecting you. You got your kitty cat and your doggy, so it's up to you. You make the decision. But anyway, the letter to me kind of makes me think that that's more of a she has kind of more of a traditional love, like a romantic person, and this is more of a seductive person coming in. So there could be choices here, but somebody's coming to pick you up, and it looks like, go to that party. Your destiny might be there. All right, let's see what your charms have to say. So definitely treats. Eat those treats, or you don't have to eat them, you just collect them. Alright, let's see. What does your charms have to say? You've got the sundial. Sun is very important here. It's going to take you in the right direction, but follow the light. The light is going to be your guide to the treats. You've got, see, you got an invitation. Somebody's inviting you and going to pick you up in their coach, in their car. There's somebody here who, it's kind of like the Tin Man, who thinks they need a heart. They've been through a lot. They maybe want to go to the wizard to get a heart, but all along they're the ones that had the heart. So maybe a little stiff on the outside, but they're full of love. You've got a lot of good ones. You've got kiss. See, you're going to get that kiss. Reach. Love. A happy love. Happy love. A true love. You've got pentacles also, like pile 2. Pentacles means gifts and physical objects, so definitely a treat. You've got the elephant of nostalgia, so kind of going down memory lane or enjoying the olden days. You know, remembering how it felt like to be a kid or whatever. My neighbor just started to blow. Or is he cutting again? This guy's obsessed with getting his tree cut down. This one is a crown. It's talking about, to me, it's like the divine masculine or the divine feminine here. So a royal couple. You'll be able to explore the world together. Maybe things will start to really look good for you. Maybe you'll meet at a Halloween party and then have a lovely winter together. You've got each other's back. You know, it's kind of, this could also represent carrying somebody, literally, like you could be carrying a child or something, or it could be somebody has your back, or you could be riding a motorcycle and not a car. You've got the lucky frog, and who's this? Is this Joan of Arc again? Oh yes, Joan of Arc. So this could be either pile 2 or 3 is my pile, but I think maybe I'll take both. Yeah, and the wheel of fortune is like everything is coming to you finally. You know, this has been quite a nice Mercury retrograde for me, you know, so we're so good. Everything's been going okay. Shadow phases kind of mess with me, but but when things go direct again, the world's going to look like a different place, I think. Things are going to start to make more sense, right? So enjoy, you know, just kind of like go with the flow. Don't fight it. What I've just learned is, if things go wrong, go to plan B or whatever, or just don't fight it. Don't try to force plan A into action. You know, if plan A is not working, then just move on to another idea or move on to another thing that you need to do, whatever. But yeah, and don't do any major contracts or major decisions during this time. No breakups or big major hookups, but you might. See, I think you're gonna have this kind of meeting or finding somebody coming over, taking you out maybe, but know that it's best not to solidify it until after Mercury goes direct, okay? So enjoy this little excursion, this little fantasy trip, whether it's in your mind or for real, and you know, and have a good time. Enjoy. All right, you guys. Well, I like the chariot coming out. The chariot to me seems like I just washed my chariot today, and I'll be driving my chariot to a place where they have lots of treats. All right, you guys. And yeah, and I have my ticket. I got to print out my ticket. Well, actually, my ticket will be on the phone, so I'll just flash my ticket. So yeah, you guys, I'll see you at the Renfest. Anybody want to meet me there and say howdy? That's where I'm going to be, Texas Renaissance Festival tomorrow. So that's why I want to get in at least one more Halloween message. Maybe I'll do something on Sunday, but I noticed Queen Sugar's doing a nice party Sunday night, so I might hop over there and join you guys over there. And yeah, I just want to, before I go, I just want to say hello. Thank you all my subscribers, and howdy all my visitors. So sorry for the noise. And I'm going to shout out all my members. My Platinum Pixies, Huriel, Cheryl, Mary, Lupe, Amira, my Golden Fairies, Curly Girl, Ritz, Mary Joy, my Fool of Faithers, V. George, Claudia, Anastasia, Rosie, and Andrea, and my Sparkles of Light, Jessica, Syrian, Patricia, Caitlin, Maya, Brian, and Cecilia. Thank you, everybody. And I should be going live Freebie Friday tonight. I was thinking of changing it up. I'm not sure what I plan to do, but we'll see. We'll see what we're gonna do tonight. All right, so we'll see you guys later. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.